Right now, let's get real with Adam. Adam, you are renowned for your ability to team manage and execute well orchestrated projects. And I applaud you that. How many people does it take to achieve that though?
Overall, what I'm working with would probably be 30, 40 people in one sort of area. And in different areas again, at just different areas, different problems, a lot more numbers.
Do you manage those people independently or do you manage the people who manage the people?
Creating a system is probably the biggest thing to answer your question there. So mine goes into planning. In with planning, I go into the schedules. In the schedules, I micromanage the schedule, set that up at one, hand that over to me project managers and say, let's follow the system. The old story, don't trust the person, trust the policy or the process, and then you can build off that.
What is mentioned, right, is so important for, it doesn't matter if it's in property or any small business, okay? It's really the system that we're trying to build here is all important. My favorite book is The E-Myth, right? I don't know if you heard of that book, but in it talks about how, even if it's a small business or any business that you're doing, it's the systems that you implement and try to build. And once you have that systems built, managing a team of 40, 30 or 40, 50, even thousands come naturally. It's the systems, right? And I think
absolutely, it's like the blueprint. You create the blueprint and you can go through and then just multiply that blueprint. The expectation is follow the schedule that we've got set in place. I actually go in that depth is ordering materials, deliver on this date. Has it been ordered? Yes, yes, yes. And then I just look at that.
So
and go,
you manage that yourself or you have people who manage that?
I go through and have the project managers manage that now, but I actually set up the original blueprint to say, this is what I want so that I can watch the reports and go, glance, yes, done, move on. Everything's under control.
So who are the most important people on your team?
Me.
Yeah.
Because accountability. My accountability follows right through the team and I set the path for the team.
How much time do you spend on site these days?
Not much, and they love it.
And he loves it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, okay, if you're not spending that much time on site, what do you spend your time on?
Business planning, projections, cash flows, the company's growth. We're going different places now, so setting things up like that. Communication within team members, management team, the core group at the top, and then let them deal with underneath it.
Yeah, so Brendan, as you ask him what he does now, I'm sure he's just busy trying to build on and improving that system.
Absolutely.
And one of the fundamentals, I think, of business building or anything you do is to try to get yourself replaced. Whatever that can be delegated should be delegated. And whatever that only you can do, well, that's the next thing you should work on to try to make that a thing that you should not have to do. Someone else can do it.
And that's a hard thing. That's
hard.
because you've got to let go. But if you don't let go, and then you don't have the procedures in place, then there's a fear base that gets involved. And then...
Hang on, if you don't let go and you don't have the procedures in place, if you don't have the procedures in place, you can't let go.
Well, people do.
And there lies a crash and burn.
That's where you crash and burn.
Yes.
So you've got to set the procedures, you've got to set that in place, then go into your management. But that's why it's really important to start with your team small and grow, but work on your foundations first before you start going, I'm going to go huge here and huge here. Because the bigger you go, be diligent in the small things, and then you're diligent in the big things. All you're doing is going big, is creating that picture there into there. So you've got problems down here, multiply by that, you've got dramas.
Maybe tell us an example, Adam. Like, give us a specific example of how it was something that you used to have to do yourself,
and now you don't.
And then now you don't. Someone else does it for you, but following the same way you've done it.
Well, I'm going to get emotional. Get the tissues out, Brendan. The biggest one for me is because I used to micromanage and I used to love getting on site, doing things in patterns and streamlining things, and productivity was great, but that was me. When I had to hand that over to a project manager, my expectations were they weren't good enough. Because why can't you do that? And then that took me to a place where how can I communicate now to my project manager and to their site foremen and to their tradesmen and suppliers the same way that I do? Well, I'm different. I can't expect them to be like that. So procedures, I had to go through and let's work with the procedures and get on the same page.
You've had to evolved to let go of things that you otherwise wouldn't, that you didn't trust other people to do. You had to put things in place to let go of them and elevate yourself into a more administrative role.
I'm smiling because you can always put on a jacket, but you're still underneath. So if you don't come back to the grassroots of things and have a good, honest, and there's your word, honest look at yourself, then the change won't happen.
All evolution occurs within self first and then manifests outside. So as a form of growth, people will need to focus on themselves as part of this journey and address the things that stop them from growth. Some of the biggest things is, I don't trust anybody, nobody's going to do this as well as me, and therefore I can't trust it. Well, all of those background conversations get in the way of an evolution into a systemic approach of being able to achieve great wealth. And you're going to have to do that if you're looking for that wealth in the background.
I've had a situation just of late where I've gone through and I'm seeking further training with myself, because if I'm expecting my apprentice to follow suit, project manage, and it comes back up, then I have to lead by example. As soon as I started getting some corporate training, I've already had some suppliers, project manager the most, come back to me, and some other key people on my team going, you have changed in the last 3 weeks.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah.
And the thing
That is
about
brilliant.
that is you go to yourself, I haven't changed, you're just not listening. And that's the old Adam, as I call it, as the old Adam coming back to the table. But it's exciting to see the change. And I see the excitement in them. And that's the part where you go, we are growing now and we are creating a team.
And that's leading.
And that's
and
correct.
that's leading.
Correct.
Like, by willing to acknowledge yourself that you have to constantly improve and grow, your team can see that.
Yeah.
Or the people that work
They'll
with you,
feel
they
the change.
They will follow
Yeah.
your lead. Despite you not having to be vocal about, follow me, you have to do this, like what Adam said early on in his career. I used to be like that too. I used to be like, you wouldn't ever be doing the same good job as I do. But, well, then why don't I just stay in that job then? You know, why do I want to grow? So the key to scaling up, being transparent and honest with yourself.
Correct.
Right?
Vulnerable.
Be vulnerable.
Oh, in a construction site, let me just bring that up. And this is the thing, we're talking about culture now. And I'll say this openly. I was that dominating, go brute force, do as you're told. I was 6'3", played football. That was my reputation. To strip me down off that, to come back to be vulnerable. Are you serious? That's my self-esteem, that's my ego.
It was tough.
In a
That was your
construction
identity.
site, that's my identity.
Yeah.
But in construction, there is a toxic environment. And going against it, going, no, there's a better way. And there is. And I'm doing it. And I'm enjoying it. And that's the big thing.
Can you see today, far clearer than you could, who you want to be in the not too distant future?
Absolutely.
And what does that look like for you?
The part that's really exciting is, once upon a time I used to get excited over wealth and property and material things. Now it's not. It's the challenge of building a team where you see success, but not just me. And that's a cliche. It is to see everyone that's coming along the ride prosper on the same, not just financially, but within themselves. That's my joy.
Today we've heard from specialists and experts in the development area about how they're able to build and manage teams, about how you're able to mitigate problems in advance of them occurring, about setting clear expectations, about building great communication channels, and about systemising so that you minimise the requirement of personal involvement. But it does require personal growth. It does require you to push boundaries on self, but allow yourself to do it. Get off the couch and take action, but start small. Build on what you learn, build on the skills that you have, build on the size of the projects you take on, build on the complexity, and then we can get into frequency. The more time you spend talking through this with people around you, the people on your team, the greater the chance you have of success. Next week, we talk to two incredibly successful women who have achieved great things out of developing property. I'm really looking forward to that conversation. See you next week.